Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be going over all of my thoughts and opinions and review of the items that I picked up from the MAC Aladdin collab that they came out with just a couple of months ago in preparation for the release of the live action film. If you have not seen the original cartoon, I am going to insist that you go check it out. Robin Williams at some of his finest. I have not seen the live action, so I can't make comparisons, but I grew up absolutely loving the movie. So when MAC released this collection, I was so excited for it. And guys, seriously, the packaging, so freaking stunning. So I did pick up 3 items. I did not pick up the entire collection because your girl spends her own money on makeup and I'm already a little out of control. So I had to show restraint. I did pick up one of the lipsticks. This is one of their matte formulas. I picked up the shade Raja. And for those of you who don't know, Raja is Princess Jasmine's pet tiger. So this is what the actual packaging of the lipstick looks like. So beautiful. And then the shade is this right here. I am currently wearing this shade now. I did say at the time that I hauled this that the pictures on the Ulta website did not show true to color. And by the way, that's where I did pick up all of these items. My local Ulta does not carry any MAC products in stock, so I did buy them all off of the website. That being said, this is still a stunning color. I've worn it quite a few times since I purchased it and I really do love it. And I'm really happy to have it even though it's not quite the shade that I was anticipating. This did retail for $19.50. Another item that I picked up during this time was the highlighter. This is, well, it's marketed as a powder blush, which it's totally not. It is right here. Again, this packaging, super reflective, but incredibly gorgeous. This is in the shade Always One Jump Ahead, which is one of the songs from the original cartoon. And then this is what the actual product looks like. It has a little oil lamp embossed into it and it's beautiful. It is really nice. This is the first MAC highlighter that I have ever owned. So I didn't quite know what to expect. And it's just a beautiful, very reflective gold shade. I actually quite like this. It is not incredibly intense, which I honestly appreciate. I don't wear heavy makeup on a day-to-day basis. I'm not typically looking to be glowing to the gods on my everyday life. I applaud everybody who does. It's just not my particular style or what is deemed as acceptable in my particular work environment, which I think is stupid. If I want to wear crazy makeup, I should be able to wear crazy makeup, but that's a topic for another video. But this is $35 is what it retails for, and it does have 10 grams of product in it. Again, it does, when you put it on, have a very natural glow from within, candlelit sort of look, but it can be built up to be nice and reflective and give you that glow from the gods sort of look, which is beautiful when it's what you're looking for. So it is very versatile. I think that's what I'm really trying to get towards. It is very versatile and I think it's something that would work for a lot of different people. I am quite fair. I do work all of my highlighters into my skin. I buff it in quite well to help avoid that kind of stripy look that sometimes a highlighter can have when you don't have a perfect color for your skin tone, or if you don't just take that extra time. So for me, it does work well. I think it still would be beautiful on a variety of skin tones. I think if you're quite deep, it could come off as looking a little bit ashy. I'm not sure. I have only my own skin to view it on, but I do think it is beautiful and well worth the $35 that the item is sold for. I think the thing that you have seen me using the most is the 9-pan eyeshadow palette. This is the Princess Jasmine eyeshadow palette, and I did a series here on my channel. I've got 3 videos that I will make sure that I link all down in the description bar, where I'm using this palette and trying to get a look for each of the pans. I only did a total of 8 looks, but it did give me a really solid feel for this product. I have to say, I am left feeling disappointed. This is the first MAC eyeshadows that I have used, with the exception of a white that I was gifted and I just used to set my eyeshadow base. But these are the first MAC shadows that I've ever used. This is the first MAC palette that I've ever purchased. And and you'll see all of the looks that I made if you want to go check out those videos. And for the most part, I did enjoy the end result. But it took a lot of work to get it there, and the shades didn't perform as well as I would have wanted them to. I think for me, the real standouts in this palette are actually going to be these three right here. They're all shimmer shades. We've got this kind of darker gold shade, this silver shade, and then this kind of mauve-y purple color. Let me go ahead and swatch all three of these for you. I think that they are absolutely beautiful. They are nice and creamy. They really do apply best with the fingers, which for me, I don't love. I would like the ability to use both a finger and a brush, and these don't really give that option, which I don't love. But these are really, really beautiful shades. But at the end of the day, I don't know that this is actually worth it. So this little 9pan palette does retail for $35, and it does contain a total of 5.85 grams. I found the mattes to be decent. These are the two kind of shades that I used in the transition. This is a black shade that is not the most amazing black. It actually feels quite dry, and it's not the most saturated black. Now, that being said, it's actually what I have in my look today, and when layered with the matte pink and really kind of buffed out, it takes on a really beautiful deep purple kind of color, which I definitely appreciate. But I think if you're looking for a black, there are far better that you can find and that you probably already have, because you probably have a larger collection like many of us do here on YouTube. But I think for $35, I know you can't get it anymore, so this is not exactly a timely review, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it's something that if you missed it and you wanted it for something other than the packaging, you aren't missing much, which kind of pains me to say. I think overall, I would give it a B- if we're using kind of that A through F scale. I found there to be, especially in this purple shade and in the black shade as well, so much fallout. So much fallout. They didn't blend easily or well when I used them, especially in the crease. I hate that I didn't love this palette more, because $35 is not a minute amount of money. I mean, I'm sure for some people it is, and that's great, but I think that I want more bang for my buck. One of the shades that I was most disappointed in was actually the shade right here, which is actually the shade that I bought this palette because of. I am a sucker for a blue-black shift, and Matt's known for it, right? This was very dusty and underwhelming. This swatch is okay, but it's very, very crumbly. And even then, you can't see it in person, but it's patchy and it doesn't perform very well, which is a huge bummer, a huge bummer. So yeah, not loving this, and it's making me question whether or not I would buy another set of MAC eyeshadows, because this was just not worth the money, in my opinion. But I did want to give you guys some alternatives. So I think one thing that I kind of want to start here on my channel when I do more in-depth reviews like this is I want to see, can you color pop it? Which I think is a really fun idea, because I think at this point a lot of us have the ColourPop pressed eyeshadows, whether it be in the palettes or, like me, a ton of singles. So I did go through my singles collection, and I tried to see if I could recreate this palette. So I don't by any means have all of the ColourPop pressed eyeshadow singles, but I do have a fair bit. I have 46, I want to say. and I do have a ton of the palettes. So if this is something that you guys are interested in me continuing to do, absolutely let me know. I'll see if I can pick up more of the ColourPop pressed eyeshadows. And I say that because some of the ones that I had harder time duping, so to speak, are ones that are very common colors, which is why I didn't pick them up as singles. I wanted to get things that would enrich my collection in the form of singles and not something that I have time and time again. So that's why I'm actually going to pull from a couple of more common ColourPop palettes as well as the singles that I own. So let's start with the singles. I just have them in this Makeup Geek magnetic palette, which now that I'm looking at it on screen with this big old mirror here, might not have been the best of ideas. So let me see if I can compare the two on top of one another with this super reflective packaging on both ends. But here we have those two palettes. So again, the ones that I don't have displayed here is this black shade right here, because when you have one black, you have enough, in my opinion. And then the two that go right here are shades that you've got a bunch of. They're two shades of gold. And so that's why I didn't have them in singles. Now, I do have some options for you when it comes to that. So one of the palettes that I did look at very closely is the Zodiac palette, because so many of us have the Zodiac, and these shades are now being sold individually as well. And so the Gemini right here, I think is a really strong comparison to this darker gold shade, this darker gold shade here at the bottom. And then for the lighter gold shade, I have my Give It To Me Straight palette, and this shade right here up front, I feel like worked very, very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch all of these shades side by side so that you can see what kind of stands in for what, and then I will talk you through the different shades that I pulled from ColourPop. Okay, hopefully you can see this. I'm still not the best at arm swatches in a way that you can see very well. The arm twists so strangely. Anyway, so the top here is going to be from the MAC, and then the bottom here is from the ColourPop. This is going to be the top row, shades 1, 2, 3, center 1, 2, 3, bottom 1, 2, 3. If that makes sense. I'm sure it does. Anyway, so for the top row, we have Bel Air, which is, this shade right here. The center shade is from the Give It To Me Straight palette, and that is called Up Front. The soft pink shade is Say I Do. The shade that is next is Mr. Sandman. We then have Snake Eyes. So the shade here, where is it? Oh. So this shade right here, technically in the MAC palette, it is kind of like a shimmer, but it doesn't actually perform that way in my opinion. So I did pull a matte in the shade Facet, which is very, very similar. We have the darker gold shade is from the Zodiac palette. That is the Gemini. In the center, we have Beam Me Up, which honestly, it does pull a little bit more of a lilac-y sort of hue versus the silver that's in the MAC palette. But once applied to the eye, they actually look almost identical. And then on the very end, I just pulled a black from my Villains, Disney Villains, The Misunderstood palette 101. I did pull that for the black. So as you can see, it's something that if you missed out on it and you have ColourPop shadows, you've probably got it. Sorry, back in focus now. You've probably got all of the shades that you need to make all of the looks that I made while doing this particular portion of this series. So yeah, that is kind of my overall thoughts and feelings. I wish that I had more positive feelings towards the eyeshadow palette, because I'll be honest, that was the thing that I was most excited about. And it turns out that honestly, the highlighter turned out to be my favorite of the three things that I purchased, followed by the lipstick. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think, if this is something that you're interested in seeing more of, or if you just don't care. And I'll try to be a little bit more current with the palettes that I choose. I'll be honest, I kind of want to do the most recent palette from Christine Dominique, the Rustic palette, because I feel like that would be a really fun one to do. Anyway, let me know, did you pick up the Aladdin palette? And if so, what are your thoughts? If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. And please, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe before you leave. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.